Submissions, where DIY bands submit songs for us to listen and react to blind. Every week, we'll bring a guest from the underground music, arts, or entertainment scene to help you sort through mountains of new music. We go in blind, so you don't have to. Blynd Submyshynz.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome back
to another episode.
Oh. That timing was way off.
It was.
Welcome back to another episode of
Blynd Submyshynz. I am Jeff Wilson.
And I am JD Norton.
And we keep flipping the order of introducing ourselves.
That's okay.
You know why? Because I can't remember.
Yeah. You can't remember who you are?
No, I don't.
No?
No,
I have days like that.
I'm having a real brain farty day. So
yeah.
This could be a thing.
This could be a real good episode.
Yeah.
And we've got, our guest is a new dad, so he's on like dad brain.
New
baby dad brain.
Got that dad brain to go along with the dad bod. You got to have all the dead parts.
All the dead parts.
Why is my Bandcamp still on Brian Kenny Fresno?
Because it should be. Because it's amazing.
Yes. So today's guest.
Today's guest
is
Aaron Gray.
Aaron Gray
from Grayskull Booking, right?
Yeah, heavy talent, Grayskull Booking. Aaron is a fixture in the tour booking scene for the heavy underground. Also a booker for some venues in and around the Boston area. Mm-hmm. In and out of a bunch of different bands. We first met him at the first Psycho Las Vegas, I believe.
Did we meet him in Vegas?
Yeah, I met him. I ran into him at least.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He looked kind of familiar.
Yeah, you would.
Okay. I didn't think I knew him, but I do.
Yeah, Aaron's recognizable. He's like really tall. Like there's Aaron. His hair's big. He's got a big beard. He's hard to miss.
That's really weird. There weren't a lot of guys at Psycho with beards and long hair.
No, he's just bigger. He's like one and a half of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like,
what are you saying, Jeff?
I'm saying he's
a big dude.
Hello, puny human.
Yes. Hello, puny human. That's awesome. This is going to be sort of our first booker and promoter other than ourselves.
Well, and Nick from Armed for Apocalypse.
Oh, yeah. But he was more on the band front. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess. And that was a long time ago. What was Nick? Our second episode?
No,
third?
He's like 6. He's in the first 10.
Oh, wow.
Where Aaron and I, in the pre-discussion, were just talking about that. So it's like close to my head. All right. So Aaron told me already he's got a new project cooking, but the last band he was in is called Hepatagua. They are on Bandcamp. If you like some good sludge, they are fantastic.
Is that a syringe or a pogo stick?
I believe it's a syringe. Looks like a syringe.
That would make the most sense.
Looking
at their logo, by the way.
This song is on the latest release called Lights Out. What do you want to hear? Drink the Water / Save Your Prayers. Landmarks and Ghosts.
Well, I did just bring us in some water, so.
All right. Here we go. It's coming. It's a fade.
It's one of those slow builds.
Yeah. Everybody, we got Aaron Gray. As soon as he connecting.
Maybe we might have Aaron
Eventually,
Gray
someday. He will be here.
We can just listen to some more of his music.
He's joining.
How long is that song?
That song's like 8 minutes and 20 seconds long. It's a serious piece of business. And there he is.
Woohoo! Welcome to the show.
Looking lovely in a Suicidal Tendencies hat.
An all-time favorite of mine.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
I think the first question is like, which era is your favorite? I mean, there's really two eras, right? It's like it's the purely punk, and then there's like the metal.
You know, I like both. Yeah. I actually, so there used to be like a Halloween cover show thing that went on here in the Boston area in Worcester, and a friend of mine put it on at this club called Ralph's. And like for a couple of years, I was trying to like get involved and like get a band together or something to do it. And finally, I got tapped to play guitar in a Suicidal Tendencies cover band, and we just did pretty much everything from my album names are terrible, so I fucking never remember. It's like everything in the first album all the way through like was that the I always forget the name of the one that has War Inside Your Head on it.
Well, geez, I don't remember which one that's on either.
Yeah,
was it as far as Lights Camera Revolution?
We'd had not some from Lights Camera Revolution.
I could sing you the song. War is on my head. But I can't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we did it as like a tribute band kind of thing. So I went out, bought a hat, bought like I have that shirt that says feels like shit or feel like shit.
Deja vu.
On it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had like the fucking plaid, shirt and what like
just the button, the top button. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get
the full cholo?
There's a whole dude, it's on YouTube. It's on
That's
YouTube
amazing.
Somewhere.
That's amazing.
And I will say it was very, very difficult to get. Like I used to play in thrash bands and punk bands and stuff when I was younger, but I haven't played that fast in a really long time. So I had to woodshed those things for like 2 months of just like all downstrokes. I was like, oh my god, my fucking hands are falling apart. So yeah, I like all eras of Suicidal Tendencies. It's even funny.
That's amazing.
It's even kind of awesome, like seeing them do their thing now. You just watch Mike like fucking run out there and like, wow.
Yep, stomp around stage and.
You're not gonna tell me he didn't snort like 5 lines. He's like 60. Well, he's not that old.
Yeah, he's probably pushing it. That's for sure.
But running around like that, I can't do that shit. I'm only 42. I'm not doing anything like that. Nope.
Yeah, completely. We did when I was in 8th grade. Our junior high had a lip sync contest every year, and me and 2 buddies actually decided that we were gonna try out, and we did How Will I Laugh Tomorrow, the slow emotional version, and we made it onto the stage, and we actually we killed the tryouts, and we were, I think, the only people up there that were not doing some whatever pop songs were popular at the time. Yeah, up there in our cholo gear and our like stomping around the stage.
Groove is in the heart or some shit like that.
It was amazing.
That's so sick. I remember people doing that in like my middle school. They did like middle school talent show, and at that time, I think the song was it was that Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch song.
Oh yeah.
It was like super popular.
Yeah.
I can't
Good
remember.
vibrations.
Good vibrations. Yeah, good vibrations. That's the one.
And the dude, like the popular kid in school, came out, and he was like, he was very athletic, played all the sports and everything. So he like fucking came out, like ripped his shirt off, and he was like doing push-ups on the stage and stuff. And I was like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening.
Would you see that in today's society? Would you, like in middle school? Do you think that would still happen?
What, a lip sync competition?
No, well, no, like a kid being able to run out there and like do his best Marky Mark with his shirt off and his abs popping and his underwear showing. Yeah,
maybe. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know.
We had a conversation.
I can read you the set list that we played. I have it right here.
Nice.
I had to look at it. So,
all right, let's hear it.
You Can't Bring Me Down. That was the
good
opener,
song.
right? Subliminal. Trip to the Brain. Won't Fall in Love Today. Fascist Pig. Alone. War Inside My Head. And this was the worst one for me to try and learn because it was incredibly difficult. Get Whacked.
Oh, really?
Dude, so that song is all like, this is, I'm going to use a technical guitar term here, a nerdy guitar term here. So it's all double stops. So it's like 2 notes on each finger through the. So you're playing chords through that whole run the entire time, and it's fucking not easy.
Yeah.
So Get Whacked, I Want More, and then we closed with Institutionalized.
Oh, nice.
Of course. I'll tell you what you don't do in the Bay Area.
What's that?
For a performance like that, and expect to survive is dress
like cholos,
like a cholo. And if you're not a cholo,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can do that shit in Boston.
We could do that back in the late '80s. No, in Utah. No,
in Salt Lake City. Yeah, no. Yeah, I dare you.
You can definitely do that. I mean, the dude that we had this guy Tim, who did all the Rocky parts.
Oh yeah.
And I swear to God, I was just like in awe of his playing. I was like, I'm such a loser. I cannot do anything like that, you know. And he was just, well, you know that those songs, like Rocky is basically just ripping solos the entire fucking song.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't give a shit.
Oh, Rocky was such a great guitarist. Oh, I mean, sure he still is, but
yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is the verse. Well, it's the verse plus my solo.
Yeah. Exactly. Did you look up to see how old Mike is?
Mike Muir is in fact 58 years old. So
58.
You were pretty damn close.
Damn. So he's running out there.
Doing good. Yeah.
Fuck,
I mean, at this point, isn't Mike the only original member of the band?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they have Dave Lombardo playing drums for them, so it's kind of like,
yeah.
You know,
yeah.
They're getting 2 celebrities here, folks.
I actually would like to go back and see them because what's his name? Thundercat cut his teeth playing bass for Suicidal when he was like a teenager. He was like 16 or something.
So many great. Robert Trujillo was in Suicidal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been so many great musicians that have cycled through. It's almost like an incubator for for other musicians.
If you can survive playing
with Suicidal.
Songs.
Yeah.
I was always more of an Infectious Grooves guy myself.
Yeah, I can see that.
No, I'm kidding. I already this discussion has actually already come up. Because that was the kind of rap metal that wasn't like what we were doing in the Bay Area, and there was like a turf war. Keep that bullshit LA rap metal in LA. We don't want it up here in
that was funk metal.
I know. Well, go listen to Fungo Mungo or the Limbo Maniacs or Psychofunk.
Was there acceptance of 311 in your area, in the Bay Area?
In the Bay Area, I mean, among us, it was like a college band. Like that was the heaviest thing that most college kids would listen to.
So interesting.
Yeah.
I tell you, I get shit for it all the time, but I actually like that band.
Oh, really?
You know, it's probably the one that every time I tell people that, because I listen to like black metal and death metal and all this crazy shit too. They're like, "You're a 311 fan?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. I just hit it at the right time." Like I was.
No, that's like, fair.
Hey, I'll admit to liking a Sublime song or two.
Years old,
you know,
and I like Sublime, and I liked 311, and I liked the Smashing Pumpkins, but I also listened to Slayer and Metallica and Anthrax, and I don't know. I've never shut out any kinds of music unless I feel like if I listen to it, I'm like, this sucks. You know, I don't like most modern country. I can't listen to it.
No, God, no.
Because it's just boring to me. It's the same beat throughout
pop.
the entire song. I just
Pop
can't
with
deal
twanging
with it.
singing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but bluegrass, I love bluegrass.
Oh yeah,
bluegrass is cool to listen to. You know.
Yeah.
I remember when 311 like first kind of hit, and it was like didn't like it, but it was more interesting than most of what was on regular rock radio. I mean, it could have been worse.
Yeah.
And it got worse because we got this like budget 311 called Hoobastank.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, is that where this is gonna go? I'm out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want any of it.
You guys ripped off the bit. Okay.
Yep.
And then, I mean, 311 committed what is to me like an unforgivable musical sin when they wrote that fucking Amber song.
Amber is the color
Amber
of your
is
alert.
the color of your energy. Yeah, amber is the color of your alert.
Yeah, I cannot make excuses for that song.
Whoa.
It is not a good song. I don't like it either.
Yeah, we had a guy named Alex from a band called Nopes, and all of their song titles are fucking hilarious. And one of the songs was called "Amber is the color of your alert."
That's amazing.
Actually, Gozu has already come up. The song titles kind of remind me of their song naming ethos, which is
I think he knows
a funny non sequitur.
Yeah, has nothing to do with the actual song.
Yeah,
Dude, I was I think the last Boston show that I did for them, or one of the last Boston shows I did for them, I was talking to Gaff, and I was like, dude, can you do me a favor? And I've never asked you to do this, so don't just like give me this one. He's like, what? And I was like, can you play Jan Michael Vincent? That's one of their songs. And he's like, well, we haven't played it for a really long time. I'm like, come on. So then I was just like shouting it from the floor, like, Jan Michael Vincent.
I'm sure they love that.
People are like, what the fuck? Why is he talking about that weird actor nobody really knows? You know?
that's funny. Did they ever play the cover of Brown Sugar live?
I'm sure they have. What a great cover. They did such a good job on that.
Oh yeah,
they did a good. There's another one that I always loved. They play. I've never heard them play it live. I should ask them. I don't remember the name of the song, which is terrible, but it's by Simply Red.
Yeah, it's on the same. If you go find
Same
Brown
album.
Sugar, Holding Back the Years, or
is it Holding Back the
Holding
Years?
Back the Years. Yeah. Yes, that is a great song.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, that's the one.
You don't expect when you see Gaff, you don't expect him to have the voice that he has. Like he doesn't look like he could sing with that soulful,
such an amazing
he's got
voice.
such a great voice.
We need to get him together with John from Moontooth, and they can make like a weird soul metal record.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you ever listened to Moontooth? We talk about them a lot because they're one of our first discoveries on this show. And that guy's voice is incredible too, and he's a big hairy ape. He's like a big Long Island Italian monster.
I did a show for them at the Elks Lodge in
Steak
in
sauce
Cambridge,
mustache.
like many years ago.
No, that was
many
before.
years ago.
In Cambridge. Nice.
And I didn't know who they were. A friend of mine, they were just looking to get a show, and a friend of mine was like, hey, can you hook them up with this thing? I'm like, you're hitting me up like 3 weeks before,
Yeah.
which I've done.
You're like, I could find something, but
I've definitely done it.
No guarantee.
Try not to do it, but it happens.
Yeah,
completely.
So all we could get was like the Elks Lodge, and I was like, this is gonna suck. Just letting you know, like the Elks Lodge is cool, and I love that they put shows on there, but there are things about it that are just make it difficult. It's like you got to bring your own PA. It's like,
oh yeah,
really, the whole thing.
Yep.
Yes, the whole thing.
And I inevitably get the question, like, are there any monitors? I'm like, dude, this came from my practice space. There are no monitors.
Just stand out on the floor if you want a
Stand
monitor.
in front of it. Yeah. Like, you know how you practice at your band practice? Like, set it up like that.
This is what we call audience interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
funny.
don't turn the mic up too loud because it's
Ignore-
just gonna...
Yeah, ignore the feedback.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we really jumped right into this conversation, didn't we?
Yes.
We started with the suicidal. We
Right.
we've now come to the,
We talked
why don't-
about 311.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a
So,
lot of shit for that.
who are you and what do you do? No,
We already said that.
no,
part.
we did do that.
I am curious though. I mean, we talked about it with Nick a bit when he was on about kind of what's life been like for a show booker during a year of no live shows.
Yeah, I had to switch gears and pivot, as has become a very well-known word.
Yes.
I pivoted to a professional show canceller,
Oh,
which was amazing.
Some good money in that.
I had a lot of tours. So I only, aside from booking tours, I do show promotion in Boston.
Yep.
So I have homegrown shows that are coming through too. So all of those got canceled. And then the tours that I set up, which are two different entities, all of those got canceled too. So I basically just, and then some of them were support tours and, stuff that just bummed me out, like Monster Magnet. I had, like, Nebula was on the Monster Magnet tour, and I wrapped those guys, and that was a bummer when we had to cancel. Well, we moved it and then eventually canceled it, and I hope that it comes back. Fingers crossed. But basically just watched everything that I worked for in the period of 8 to 10 months just go away. And there's really nothing I could do. I could tell you it is a couple of things. So it was really funny. I remember sometime in like April or May, when we're just all kind of learning about this and how it's going to work and what we're going to be able to do. And I remember April and May having tours that were supposed to hit that month and like pushing them out to July and August and being like, we should be fine by then. We should be
more
fine
months.
by August.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, come beginning of June, you're like, we're not going to be fine. It's not going to be fine. So some bands that I work with just wanted to hold on and keep trying different areas. So there was a couple of tours that I pushed out to October and November. So there's some tours that got moved like 3 times before we're just like, all right, guys, like, what are we doing?
We need a sign of something bigger before we do this over again.
Yeah, which sucks because, I worked to get those things done, but the tours didn't roll. So there are some agencies that will collect on fees anyway when that stuff happens.
Yeah.
I don't do that because I don't feel right about it. If a tour happens and a band cancels a show for some reason, I might be like, yeah, but this was your due. Like, unless it was like, their van broke down or something. But if they were just like, we don't want to play the show, I might be like, well, you had a guarantee and I'm going to bill you for it anyway. So, but it depends. I work with people and whatever. There's no like cut and dry rule for me anyway. That's how we operate as a DIY agency that has a corporate feel to it in terms of like what we can do and how we operate on the professional level. So I'm not going to like try and strong arm somebody over, $50.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is Grayskull the promoting that you do in Boston, and Heavy Talent is the booking agency?
Yeah, so Grayskull, and one sort of led to the other. So when I've always just been the guy in the band that would do the things, if we've all played in bands. And
never heard of that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, right. So it was like, I was always the guy in the band that would get things done. It wasn't because anybody else couldn't do it. It just was like, I just took that upon myself because either nobody would do it, or it would take so long, taking 2 or 3 months to book a single show is like, all right, dude, like we need to get this off the ground. So I was kind of always the guy that did that. And then that sort of led into putting on shows for other bands other than my own. And that's how Grayskull came about. Like I just randomly booked a band that happened to be on in an agency. They were with Tone Deaf. And I had no idea. Like I was just emailing the bass player.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking know.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's like, okay, what's the offer? And I was like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Like
isn't that how we all start?
Yeah.
I was about as green as you could get when it came to that. I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, what can you give the band? And I'm like, a show?
A show? Maybe some beer?
You can play.
Yeah.
I will make sure that if you come down here, you will play.
Yeah.
So it was kind of the first time that I ever went through those motions of like sending an offer, agreeing to rider terms, all that sort of stuff, and signing a contract. Like I had never done any of that shit before. So after that happened, this person, Jake, was just he was like, oh, I work for this booking agency and I'm going to hit you up for shows. Like, you're actually pretty good at this. So I'm going to hit you up for shows. I was like, oh, what, you mean for like other bands? And he's like, yeah, like tour routing. But it took a while. I mean, he didn't to his credit, he didn't trust me right off the bat. It was like, he sent me sort of smaller things. And then eventually I think I put on like a Weed Eater show or something. And like 300 people showed up and it was crazy.
Yeah.
And that was like one of the first bigger shows that I did. Fast forward a couple of years and I ended up working at Tone Deaf as an agent for a little while.
Yes, I remember that period.
Yeah, and so, it was fine. Like, they taught me some stuff and I made some connections and contacts and whatever. But there are just a few things that didn't jive with the way that Jake and I like to work. And I think we had sort of been toying with the idea for a while of, what if we had our own agency that we just like did things the way that we think it should be done, on an ethical basis where everyone who puts on the show wins. It's like not just the promoter walking away with lots of money or not the band walking away with lots of money. It's like looking at it from every angle, from the person that goes to the show, the person that's putting on the show, all that sort of stuff.
The venue.
That's a novel concept.
The people you have to hire to work the show. I mean,
but like that stuff is, and there are other agents out there like that. But it just, I don't know. There's just there's a lot of like fucked up shit that happens behind the scenes that you're just like, how do you operate like that and then go to sleep? Like, that's so fucked.
Yeah, we just had Jem from the band Dead, Australian band, and he was saying like they got booked on it was John Garcia. What was the name of the band?
It was Fistachino.
Fistachino. They got booked on a Vistachino show or tour or whatever. The tickets were $80 Australian a piece. The venue held 1,000 people, and he said he thought that there were maybe about 400 people there. Their offer as the Australian support band was $100, and he talked him up to $200. And he's just like, there's more
Oh my
beer
God.
in their cooler than they paid us. Why can't this work for everyone?
Yeah.
And so he's trying to lead a revolt in Australia, and he said most of the bookers hate him, but
Yeah.
but they know who he knows who he likes and who he wants to work with.
Yeah, like I think eventually we broke off from Tone Deaf and just did our own thing, and it was nothing, it was no.
No hard feelings.
I'm making it sound premeditated, but it wasn't like super premeditated. It was like we had sort of had these discussions every once in a while. I was like, man, we should just start our own thing. We're crazy. You're crazy. No, that's insane. Like,
Well,
why would we do that?
So it's the three of you, right? You and Ethan.
So yeah, like after me and Jake did this, about a year later, we met Ethan from Primitive Man out at a show, and just kind of talking to him about whatever. He wasn't happy with what was going on with the agency he was involved in, and I mean, we really just thought that we were talking to him about booking, and it turned into a bigger discussion, which ended up being super rad. Like, we all have different personalities to a certain degree, but we all believe very strongly in the things that we believe in, and we try to operate to the as uniform a level as you can with three people who are just raccoons and
I mean,
raccoons and t-shirts.
You might have my favorite single roster of booking bands. I'm gonna share my screen real quick so that people who are watching this on YouTube can see. Yeah. Because I don't want to read all these names because it's a bunch of fucking names. But I mean, this is incredible. When you look at this roster, and first of all, got to point out a few standouts, including
We've
Anvil.
been hard at work.
Anvil is fucking. Yeah. So how long have you guys been dealing with Anvil? You go back to a tour they did with Lord Dying.
What was that? That was like 6 years ago.
I don't think so. I think I'm gonna say. I think Jake started working with them, I want to say like 2016-ish, maybe 2017.
Yeah.
I mean, so probably about then. They've been through, I think, 3 or 4 tours through Heavy Talent now.
Like this is U.S. booking. Like for a band like Church of the Cosmic Skull, this is when they come to the U.S. I mean, I see what you mean by a DIY company that looks corporate. I mean, the bands on this roster are bands that I would expect to be booked by a bigger team with more infrastructure and overhead and bullshit.
That's huge,
which is killer. And I love the geographic mix. I see Ethan's brought the Denver band, so you have Dreadnought and.
Yeah, it happens, man. I get attacked in Boston. Damn. No, it's cool. It does sort of I think there's a piece of that where like Ethan goes out to shows and Ethan puts on shows, and I do the same thing. So we see these bands that I've seen so many fucking bands, dude, and you just get caught up in like, just like, wow, this band sucks. So every once in a while, you're at a show and somebody plays and you're like, wow, they're actually really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
you can tell the difference.
It can happen that way. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's so many, I can't even tell you how many times I've been like, so it really sucks when you open the show, you play like a song, and then you take 5 seconds, or you take 30 seconds to tune again, and then you play another song and you take 30 seconds to tune. I'm like, you should just stop doing that because it really sucks.
Yeah. I see quite a few shows.
You're taking everyone out of the moment every time you do that.
Oh,
Can
completely.
You just fucking figure out how to tune your guitar so it stays in key for a set?
Yeah, completely. I have to ask because I know one of the things that surprised me, and I see them on your list. It was a head scratcher for me because I don't know if you listen. You listened to the show. I grew up, came up in sort of like punk hardcore, metal, but really a lot of like the hardcore scene. And so when I saw Boy Sets Fire on Psycho, I was like, wait, what is that? The same one? Like the Boy Sets Fire? Like I'm assuming that had to have been all of your doing, right? Because I mean,
that was not me.
That's
no, that was not me. That was Jake. I thought that I don't remember how that came to be, but he just one day was like, "We're picking up Boy Sets Fire." I was like, "What?" The Boys Sets Fire, and he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh."
You mean from the 90s? That one?
Yeah. But it's rad. It's pretty rad. Yeah. Pretty rad.
Oh, I really like them, and so I was actually kind of stoked because I haven't seen them in so long. I was stoked to see them at Psycho. Then of course Psycho didn't happen. But maybe they're still on the lineup. I don't know. I think they're releasing it tomorrow.
I wonder. I don't know if they're still on for this year. I imagine so, but I actually don't know. I have no idea. I know I've got a few bands. I've got a couple of bands playing Psycho this year. So, I got fully vaccinated. So I am picking up all the cell phone towers in my city.
Good. Excellent.
That's awesome.
I don't give a shit.
Sometimes you get up in the middle of the night and wander around. You don't know why.
Yeah, I'm not going to get the vaccine.
You.
Like, who cares? I'm going to get the vaccine. Are you kidding me? Inject me with that shit. I don't give a shit. Whatever.
I'm super powered. 24 hours from now, I'll be 2 weeks out from the last shot. So
yeah, baby.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
I mean, I'm flying out to Psycho this year, and it's going to be insane in so many different ways.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what a pressure release it's probably going to be for so many people.
This should be interesting.
I hope it is for me. I might be the whole time. I might be like, dude, get away from me.
Yeah.
Although, you see like news footage from other parts of the country where people are just pretending like nothing's wrong, and they all seem fine. They seem to walk around in large groups. We watched some fights. The first like live indoor sporting event with a full arena, and in front of the arena there were a few hundred people all crammed in trying to get in the door in Florida, of course. And it was just like, I guess we'll get back there at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I personally feel okay. Being vaccinated now takes a lot of the worry out of my brain, because it wasn't for me. It wasn't like my doctor had told me. She was like, Aaron, everybody's probably going to get this at some point. We've like pushed way too far with cases and people getting infected. So just get vaccinated. That way, if you do catch it, it will be a mild case and you won't go to the hospital and you won't die. And I was like, you know what? I can deal with getting sick. So that's fine.
Yeah. Dying, on the other hand.
Dying is not something that I have. It's in the plan. I do have it in the plan.
It's at the bottom of the to-do list.
So it's like Q4 though.
I would I need
You're
that
like
to
the
be
beginning of Q3.
A good 40 years from now would be fun.
Yeah, my 13-year-old just sort of flippantly the other day said something like, well, after 40, you're only going to live like what, maybe 20 more years? And I was like, shit, I hope not.
Yeah, seriously.
Start saying goodbye to your mom pretty soon here, if that's how you think this is going to go down.
Yeah.
You do realize that both of your grandmothers are over 80. And she's like, well, we got a little while still.
Yeah, 40 seems so old.
We have some old folks who were, grandmas and grandpas in my generation. So I think as long as I don't do anything incredibly stupid, I should be okay for a little while.
Your health will hold up.
I love how the mix of bands is like some old classics, some new stuff, some avant-garde stuff, some more mainstream. It's really, really diverse.
And Earth Crisis.
Yeah, and Violence. And Earth Crisis.
Yes.
I did an Earth Crisis show May of 2019. And
in Boston.
I just did it in Boston. It was back to back with a Skeleton Witch show.
Oh, wow.
So I did. I just remember like it was really weird. It was really weird. This is kind of funny. So, had this Earth Crisis show. People are showing up, and like nobody's going up to the bar. So I started to go, oh my God, like we're gonna have the venue's gonna be pissed at me because we're about to have a dry show in this like 350 cap room.
Oh man.
But it just what happened was I went up to the bar, I grabbed a drink, and then I saw like a couple other people were like, you know, looking around, like looking over their shoulder and shit, and they slowly started trickling up to the bar, and it didn't crush. There definitely was like a large portion of straight edge people there.
Yeah.
But it did enough so that I didn't hear anything about it the next day.
That's good.
You know? But it was funny. It was like people milling around with their beers, just like, am I gonna get punched? No. The guys at Earth Crisis were super nice. They didn't care. I think they had gotten over that portion of their
militant years,
where it was like they were still straight edge, but they didn't need other people to do the same thing.
Oh, is that how it works? Does that work in society?
Oh,
like you can just kind of live and let live.
Don't force.
Do your thing and let others do theirs.
Maybe demonstrate why something is good instead of just telling people over and over again.
That's just
kind of a funny thing that people can then do things the way that they want. I always said, I'm like, I don't really care what anyone does as long as they don't hurt other people. Then I'm fine. You know, like be an idiot. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
No, this is. I mean, go and check out the roster if you're a fan of heavy music in general. There's just it's like you guys could do just a heavy talent only festival, and it would be, you know,
seriously
a large,
thought about that
serious event.
Let's make it happen.
We're talking about it. So,
good.
And it's actually the festival thing is a thing that's come up every year so Jake and I started this in 2016 or 17, can't remember. And every single year it's come up. We're like, we're going to build a festival. This is going to be the year. We're going to do it. But it's so much work. Like I give all the credit to the people that do those things. My buddy Amos does a festival down in Atlanta.
Aren't you involved in Grub, Sweat, and Beers?
Grub, Sweat, and Beers.
That's a festival, right?
That is a festival.
Yeah, that's a
very
festival.
Good point.
That's a festival at our level.
Doug and Jim are going to be so pissed that they're like, he had to bring it up.
Don't worry about it. They won't listen. I give that a very low probability. One thing that I've never seen in this scene that I actually started talking with Alyssa early on in the pandemic, and just in general as people were thinking about alternate touring locations that were outside, is that our scene in metal in general has never really had a traveling festival. Like same lineup, different cities. You know, maybe not as big as a Warped Tour, but you know, something that same ethos, like take a group of bands, 10 bands, and then just do 5 or 6 different locations if you knew you had people that could deal with it, and then
all just tour together.
Because I mean, Evan's obviously done the single day thing, and then the multi-day one location thing for Psycho, for the various Psycho events. But it would be kind of fun to have a caravan.
Interesting.
Yeah,
there is a couple of things that fit that well, aside from like, you know, Ozfest, I suppose, but
true.
There was like Summer Slaughter, which I can't remember if that still actually happens or not, because I'm mostly not interested in any of the bands that play those.
Well, it was just Slaughter and a bunch of Slaughter cover bands, right?
Yeah,
that I would go to.
That actually sounds sick. It's like Slaughter, and then a bunch of people just playing Slaughter
just
songs.
Playing Slaughter songs.
And then Winger opens.
And then
Winger Slaughter all the time. And then we actually slaughter you at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Summer
so
Slaughter. Summer Slaughter's definitely in the
Yes.
These are bands I don't listen to or actively avoid.
Yeah, they're just not my thing. You know,
Arch
I don't listen to-
Enemy, Veil of Maya, Acacia
Yeah.
Strain. Yeah.
I mean,
good.
you know, if the people putting on that tour came at me for one of our bands that wanted to have us on it, I definitely wouldn't say no because they're big shows. But
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, and this is different. Now I'm seeing Necrogoblicon, which is a band that I would love to catch at some point.
Yeah.
that band is insane.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So there's Summer Slaughter. So, I mean, and the reason it doesn't happen because it's a big pain in the ass and it probably wouldn't make any money. But you know, whatever.
They
do
have
these things anyways.
Wasn't there an
so,
Aftershock tour too or something like that?
Yeah, I don't want. I'm
There's
not looking for Mountain Dew bands.
No, but yeah, but that's what you get. Like, yeah, yeah, it does. There's definitely not
Music-
in sort of
music by Mountain
subgenres.
Dew.
Yeah, music by Mountain
Well,
Dew.
and I mean, here's what I was thinking: is one thing that has happened up here forever and has never really been taken advantage of in our scene is the whole like High Times Awards. So around the High Times event in Northern California, they always have a big like
Don't give away our secrets. We're gonna
R&B
do this one day.
and hip hop shows. But
where do you play up there? Is my
so you do all outdoor venues. You do all like campground. We started scouting outdoor venues, but you could do the tour in only weed legal states, like in places where it's recreationally legal, and you go.
Didn't like Snoop Dogg and
probably
that other. I can't remember. Not.
you can
Life
go to
of-
Massachusetts. It's legal recreationally. You can come to
All right.
Massachusetts.
so Massachusetts.
Do that
we can
shit.
see.
Yeah, it could be a metal weed tour.
But then if that existed, really, I would just want to go to it because if
Oh,
I'm
yeah, I wouldn't-
if I'm working it, then I don't. Get
I wouldn't
to,
want to put it on.
I don't get to enjoy anything.
That's the thing that comes up every time. You know, Jake and Ethan and I have talked about a festival, like a real big spectacle sort of festival like that. Is like we start to get into the nitty gritty of what you would have to do, and we're like, wow,
Yeah.
that's a shitload of work. What if we just book tours instead?
Yeah, that's one thing.
No,
Probably people who've never worked on the booking and running show side is that you don't really get to see any music ever really, and you don't get to enjoy a show because there's an anxiety ridden lead up where you're trying to figure out if you're gonna make any money or lose money, and then there's a busy fucking day or night or whatever of like running in circles the whole time. And then there's like the part where you collapse after that and it's all over and you barely even get to say goodbye to the bands
That's how I just drink, you know. Then,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much your life running a show.
That was a huge. So there is one other. So there's two that Continental Touring puts out. One is called Bloodletting North America,
Oh,
and the other one is called Devastation on the Nation.
I've heard of
They
that
do
one.
both. Yeah, so they do both of those sort of rolling festivals. It just seems like a lot of work. We've talked about it, but it's like even having 6 or 7 bands on a show every night, that seems brutal. Like imagine having to like be the band playing that show, like every single oh, it's Tuesday and we have 1 million bands to go.
Yeah.
You know, like shit.
Yeah, we did last event we did was 3 nights, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it was something like 24 bands over the course of the 3 days, and we were exhausted.
I think in one location that sort of thing works, but if you're in a band on the road, like going,
Yeah.
that's crazy to have to like imagine just being the headliner. You know, every night you gotta like sit through 6 other bands, and like even if you like them, halfway through the tour you'd be like, dude, what are we doing? Like, how much money do we make? Cool, I'm gonna go sleep in the van. Kick me when we have to play.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
right before, give me 5 minutes.
Kick
I can't
Me
imagine like how much behind the scenes shit happened on things like Warped Tour, you know?
Oh, I can't imagine.
Just
And then there's some of those. I don't remember if it was that show that the agent was like, you can add locals if you want, and I was like, dude, you have a 6-band tour package. I'm not adding locals to this. Are you fucking crazy? We're like, yeah, let me add 15 locals. You know, like we'll just make a huge. Everyone will hate me at the end of the day.
Man, 6-band tour package. You know, there was no more than 5 bands playing every night. There's probably always one band that didn't make it.
Well, it depends on the music. If there are these bands that have these 10-minute sets,
yeah.
If it's a bunch of grind bands.
The first 2 bands I think had 20-minute sets. So the show that I did was Belphegor and Dark Funeral and Hate and Christian. I forget the 2. One of the bands that opened was called Nightmare, which they were really good. I can't remember the other band, but you know, the show started at like 6. So the opening band, even though the show was sold out before we even opened doors, it was sold out, 550 people. And the first band played to like 50 people.
Yeah.
You know, and that's brutal in a 550 cap room. That is
every night.
Super brutal. It's like, cool.
Yeah.
So when do the rest of the people show up?
Yeah, that's
exactly.
Yeah, that's one of the rooms in San Jose that we booked. The Ritz is like that. Like it's a 500 cap room, and it's got a floor and then an elevated section behind the floor that's like maybe 6 feet taller. And man, when you're on that stage and there's 10 people in the front and nobody else, and you're just staring.
Everybody's back by the bar.
You're just staring at all of that floor.
That's
a lot of floor. Feels good to be on that big stage, but
we're good. If you get closer, we're better.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. All right.
So I would like to do a festival one year, like something big like that. I love doing Grub, Sweat, and Beers every year. It sucked that we weren't able to do it last year, but that is super fun because I get to do this thing with 2 really good friends. And, you know, it's mostly like local and regional, but we've been here and there. We'll get somebody that's like on a tour and get them on it. That's not really, it doesn't always work because the way that we try to get everybody paid and fed and whatever is we just split it. You know, and when you have 12 bands on a day, because it's a whole day show, you know, the touring band is like, here's $100,
yeah,
which is probably fine, but it depends, you know, it depends on who it is. But it is a lot of fun. Like we discover new local bands from that just by announcing the thing. We're like, hey, we're going to do it on this day. And like a bunch of people will just hit us up and like, oh my God, I never heard this fucking band before. Like, and it, you know, it is fun to get really drunk for 2 days straight and eat a ton of barbecue. So I do have fun doing that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet, you know, the Boston scene in general, you know, what's there now and what I've been experiencing over the last few years is so cool. You know, the tons of great bands, tons of interesting musicians. How's it going to come out of the pandemic? Do you think there's going to be a bunch of new projects that you find out about and like lots of new stuff? Are a lot of venues surviving?
So we lost a couple. We lost, one of them, I think both will come back, is what I'm hearing. Great Scott shut down, which sucked.
I read about that,
Yeah, that was just, it kind of had something to do with COVID. I think it was just the timing. The landlord of that building just used COVID to get what he wanted.
Yeah.
It was like,
I think that
oh,
happened
you know,
in a lot of places.
yeah, it's like he had been getting some noise complaints or some shit. And so he just used the fact that they weren't going to be able to be open and paying full rent or whatever the case was to just get him out.
Mm-hmm.
And now the thing that's so stupid about that place is I think it's supposed to be a convenience store.
Oh, great.
But they're on the corner of a 4-corner section, like huge part of Commonwealth and Harvard Ave sort of meeting in Boston. There are already 3 other convenience stores on each corner, so it's the dumbest fucking thing ever.
Yeah, why
like
would
you're
you
gonna
need that?
open a convenience store. There's convenience over there, and there's also a convenience over there.
It's a very convenient
It's less
intersection.
it's less convenient than this exact spot.
Yeah.
And let me guess,
this-
the other one is Once.
Once, yeah.
Yeah.
So Great Scott did a fundraiser and has raised a whole bunch of money and found a place actually down the street that they're going to renovate and bring back Great Scott. So I'm
good.
like 99% sure that's actually going to take place. Once had to close, I think in November of last year. The owner, JJ, is definitely looking for a spot, and I think she's got a couple places she's been talking about. Last she said to me is she hopes to be open by October, but I don't know. I hope she can pull that off. It's very, very, very difficult to like, even if you're a venue that's just been shut down the whole time, it's kind of like you're opening a new venue again. You know, so she's actually going to be opening a new venue.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, but part of what was so charming about Once was the space itself. So hopefully she finds something similar.
Yeah, it's a cool little spot. You know, Doug actually, Doug from Gozu, the other mastermind behind Grub Sweat and Beers with Jim. He was the guy that sort of, I forget what show he told me about, but he was like, hey, there's this place in Somerville that's doing shows. You know, it used to be an old wedding hall. I was like, what? You know, and yeah, I went and checked it out, and I was like, actually, this can work. Yeah, this can work. I can see shows happening here. And yeah, it was great. Like, they had a smaller room upstairs, so there's like 100 cap room upstairs, and then the ballroom downstairs was like 350.
Wow.
They would sell, or 300 really, but so they would sell to 375 with both floors going. So it was pretty cool, and you know, I loved all the people that worked there. I worked there as a night manager from 2019 through to 2020 until it got shut down. And so, yeah, it's a bummer. I mean, we still have really the only independent venues that are still alive are the Middle East, which has 3 different rooms. It's got upstairs, downstairs, and Sonia, and O'Brien's, and the Midway, and JP, and there's one other that I'm forgetting right now.
It's fun. I've been to most. I think
have you been to most of those?
Yeah, but as far as like, you know, 200 cap rooms and anything below 500, you really have the Midway and O'Brien's. Like that's it, and the Middle East. You know, so there's Bright Music Hall, which is a 500 cap room, and there's the Sinclair, which is a 500 cap room, but they're both corporate. They're fine places to play shows, or see shows rather. But
I think I went to Brighton Music Hall once too to see Harmar Superstar when I was in Boston. This sounds like a place that Harmar would play.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be called Harper's Ferry. It's sort of in the middle of stuff. It's a, you know, it's a cool spot. It's just that it's that's not the place that, like, a local band can't just go and play a 500 cap room.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So you need smaller places. So we have O'Brien's. Great Scott will come back at some point. And then you have the upstairs at the Middle East, which is the 185 cap room.
I mean, anytime I hear, oh man, I saw Elder at O'Brien's, I always just like shake my head because O'Brien's makes the Caravan look nice and big.
Yeah.
Look,
O'Brien's is a 70 cap room.
Yeah, 70.
It used to be 110 until they renovated it, and then now it's 70.
wow.
Yeah, there's a stage sort of in the corner.
There's
But I don't know.
I love O'Brien's. O'Brien's is like my home away from home. I love that place. And so you have O'Brien's to kind of just break your teeth, cut your teeth, so to speak, whatever. That's the place that you go when your band sucks and you want to stop sucking.
Just learn how to do it.
Yep.
All right, I think we should listen
to some music.
Listen to some music. I love this.
Yeah. Can I run to the bathroom? Is that okay?
You absolutely
Hey, me
can.
too. So let's do this.
I'll
Let's take a
just-
small little break. Hey, riff, Jeff.
I'll riff to myself.
All right.
Hey.
Yeah, you riff.
Hey, everybody! Wow. Actually, that's your job. All right, so I'm gonna start sharing. We can start speculating while they're out of the room. So the first band that we're gonna listen to is called Die Ego, which, when you arrange the letters slightly differently, is also Diego, as in San Diego, but they're from London. So, interesting little play on words. Die Ego, Diego. I'm looking at the art here. It's like a cool, I'm guessing it was a photograph that was sketchified of a woman with a ritual dagger of some sort and some runes, and you know the deal. It sort of looks like that, it's real common in stoner and doom, that kind of like treated photo art style, like Haunt and Beastmaker, and there's a few artists constantly producing work for bands in this space. I'm curious to see if they tagged the artist to let us know who actually did the cover. Strangely, one of those things that I like to judge a band by is whether they credit their artists or not. And I am currently not seeing the artist credit for Die Ego.
I win.
Oh, JD won the Piss Wars.
Yeah.
Maybe yours is like really close, or maybe you had to tiptoe past a sleeping baby.
I'm just fast.
You're just fast. You heard it here, folks.
Power bladder.
When it comes to all things below the belt, JD's just fast.
I do those
Whoa, what
Kegels,
is
so I
that?
got some muscles down there.
Huh?
What is this?
Oh, this is who we're going to be listening to. The band is called Die Ego.
It could be.
Oh.
It could be. Hearing what you were saying. It could be that one of the band members is the artist.
Could be.
And, oh, he's got a Zealand
Somebody's
hoodie like
got
mine.
a Zealand Ardor hoodie on.
I got that same hoodie. Good choice.
All right. I was just saying, I was looking for
What a-
art credits.
What
And
a
there
great band.
Zealand Ardor. Yeah. We've spent probably like fully 10% of our airtime on this show just telling people to listen to
Zealand
or
Ardor.
listening to Zealand Ardor.
Yeah.
Do you have to tell people to listen to that band? Do they not
You
know
do.
about them?
There's a lot of people that
who
don't.
just don't know. Yeah. Who just
Dude, who is this band? I like this. I like the
All right.
artwork.
That's what
Looks
we're
nice.
gonna listen. We're gonna listen to Demons Have Demons. I was saying it's that photo, but with art overlaid. Like Trevor uses one of the houses that always produces work that's kind of like these.
Braca?
Yeah,
Bronca?
He doesn't work with Bronca Studios,
Oh.
but it's very similar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, he had a very public fight with Bronca. I think they worked it out, but Trevor will do that.
I think I
Trevor,
remember that too.
Trevor will get in a hard cat fight on the internet and
yeah.
and go all in. All right, so this song is called Demons Have Demons.
Ooh.
Ooh. All right, here we go. saw that face, JD. You made that face.
It wasn't the yarliest of yarls, but it was pretty yarly.
That was very yarly. I was like, I was feeling it. I feel bad. I don't want to like talk shit on this band. But.
No. It was. I was totally feeling it. I like that. Like the kind of cool, like classic sort of guitar tone.
It sounds good, although they say this says new wave of British heavy metal.
Oh,
right.
Really?
Is that what the thing said? Scroll down. Let me see.
We are a heavy metal band from London, UK. Not modern, not commercial. We are what we are.
Okay.
If you don't like it,
Right.
we don't care.
So if you scroll.
So see, they don't care that I'm not into the vocals.
That's fine.
Everything I was really digging it, and I'm not saying that the singer has a bad voice by any means. It's just not my style. I don't
think it fits this music, but it was good. I mean, it sounds good.
Yeah, it's like
it's just that like immediately took me to like the 90s of stuff that I didn't really. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really hard to pull that off. That voice. This comes up a lot. This exact topic, because there are people that idolize the great singers of the 90s for good reason. Like Chris Cornell's brilliant, but there's like a scale that goes from Chris Cornell to like on the good end to Scott Stapp on the like gouge my ears out end, and people kind of fall somewhere along that line. But then when you try to lay that on top of more traditional metal music, it's hard to do it right. I think you can pull it off like a Disastroid or a Godzillionaire can pull it off in a kind of a more noise 90s revival context.
It sounded that it's produced well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, completely. I think the music is great.
Here, let's pick a
see, look at this. See, at the bottom it says classic metal. The tags, classic metal, new album.
New album.
Oh, it does have new album on there.
And doom and heavy metal. Here, let's pick.
I don't know if I would categorize this as a new wave of British heavy metal influenced thing myself. Personally.
Okay, so look at these song titles and tell me which one you think is the most likely to be new wave of British heavy metal or have elements. Again, we only listened to about a minute of that one.
New wave of British. I would say either 4 or 5
for Treatment of Silence
or the grave.
Maybe the grave. That'll be their doom song.
I was thinking
the grave. Okay, no, that's I don't know. This is very new wave of British heavy metal-ish.
Yeah. No.
The style is, the tone isn't.
Yeah.
No, the tone sounds like it's like Earth Crisis. This sounds like Earth Crisis guitars.
Done in this grave, I'm already down. Smell of buzzing, decomposition. Worms, cockroaches, and them I fight. They are brave.
All right.
I actually like that better.
I'll give it a very good.
That's better. That they should have opened the record with that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not for me. I wouldn't dig in and listen much further.
But
great
I will
branding.
Say this. The branding's good. It's decent. The artwork looks nice. But I would say if they hit me up for a show in Boston, I would do it for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would.
There you go.
There's a lot of stuff that's really, really bad. And I usually try not to help those people.
Yeah. Well, there's an audience for that too. You know what I mean? There's definitely an audience.
Let somebody else do it. And even saying that, it doesn't mean that I wouldn't say, hey, you should hit up this guy because he'll do the show.
Yeah.
There are people that we hit up as agents that are just like, we only do death metal.
Yeah.
Or we only do black metal.
Yeah.
And that's fine. As long as, hey, that person knows what their audience is and what they're passionate about, and they're not going to do a shitty job with something they don't, really care about. So I can appreciate that.
Yeah, completely.
All right, now we have.
But also do the show because I can't find anybody else. What the fuck?
I gotta admit, I'm really excited for this one. For
this one looks
for
cool.
Devastruction.
Devastruction.
Oh my God, Devastruction
from
Germany.
From Germany.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
that photo. You need to watch this on YouTube.
Holy shit,
guys are
dude!
gonna be
I don't know if I
amazing.
can handle.
Do they
this.
all look like they're like 22?
I don't know. Space Force 1 is the name of this release.
Dude, what? Okay.
This is this is going to be some good, just classic thrash.
It should be.
It has to be.
By all indications. So let's see if it is. All right.
Cool cover art.
Space Force 1, and it's devastruction.bandcamp.com.
They're gonna be ripping off Municipal Waste. I can tell you. I know.
You think?
I know it.
Strong chance of that. Okay, so go gentle on production. Remember, you are listening through Zoom. But thoughts? Go ahead. We'll let Aaron go first.
I like that they say that this limited edition compact disc comes in a jewel case.
In a jewel case?
That's awesome that it comes in a jewel case.
Yeah, we didn't.
That's the thing that I want to sell.
That's one of the
This
things
comes
I
in a
hate the
jewel
most.
case.
When I buy a CD on Bandcamp and it arrives out of the jewel case, I am pissed.
Or when you just get a cardboard sleeve.
Yeah.
Just throw it. They just throw it in the fucking
Check it
envelope.
from Germany.
disc.
Here you go.
With my name written on it and a stamp in the corner.
Yeah, that was
I
not for me.
I didn't think that was awful, but I also don't care.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was awful either. They were. It seems like they're like a young band, trying to do thrash. It had good elements. I mean, at one point in time, I probably would have really liked that, but once again, got to that singing and that I don't know. The singer's voice just wasn't powerful enough to.
Singer's not working for me. Nope.
Yeah, it was.
It was almost like he was pushing for that the tone the guy from Toke gets. But he wasn't pushing it far enough to get into that realm of it actually getting interesting. It was kind of like 60% of that.
Yeah.
And so
It was
weird.
It was really squeaky.
Yeah. It was an odd kind of scream.
Do people send in like, or you're just randomly going and
No, this is either the band or their PR if they have PR people.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I knew that, but I just I needed to refresh.
It makes a
into my
difference.
brain.
They asked us to listen to this. So we are.
Okay.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I do like the cover of this first album, Alien Thrash Force Attack.
Yeah. I mean,
God, what's going on there?
Oh,
that's on the hood of the car.
That would be an alien doing nice things
That's
to a
fine.
woman on the hood of a car.
Oh, good God.
Oh, wow.
Good God.
That kind of just ruins it for me
Hey,
even more.
that CD is sold out though.
Wow. And they've got some followers on there. Looks like
Really,
they've
I
been doing
don't
this for
think
like
that-
4 years.
I don't think that there's an actual gas station called Gas Planet.
Gas Planet. That's like Pizza Planet. It's right next to Pizza Planet.
Yeah, is that in the Toy Story
Gas Planet,
universe?
yeah,
Do they actually
totally.
have to pay royalties to call it that?
So what's amazing about this is, I think this was this before Trump talked about Space Force?
No, I think this was after Space Force was established. This was probably right
Okay.
around when Space Force was established.
Because I mean, it would be really fucked up if, like, for some reason, this was the thing that gave him the like, Space Force.
Yeah, the idea.
You know,
I've been listening.
Trump listens to Devastruction.
on the Devastruction CD.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh God, I hope not. I was really hoping though in that whole Space Force debacle that he would name the soldiers too. Did they end up ever doing that? But I really like, for copyright reasons, they'd never be able to do it. But they had to be the Space Marines. There was no other option.
Space Marines.
The space scenes.
The Space Marines, because we're Space Force.
Space Marines.
So old Games Workshop Warhammer. I don't know, what did they call them in Starship Troopers? I think they might have been Space Marines or something like that. And
They were Marines, yeah.
Yeah, really the whole last 4 years feels, leading up to the 6th, felt like a Verhoeven movie. like this like insane lowbrow comedy and action, but with this like political narrative underneath.
Yeah.
That you're like, oh,
Like,
there's
dude.
some shit going
There's
on
some
here.
shit going on.
He's trying to tell us something.
What kind of idiot voted for this idiot? You know?
Yeah.
All
right.
All right, let's do one more before we take a quick music break, since I picked 6. Why? What do you got?
I just got one more thing.
One more.
Yeah, you guys do this one.
Okay, yeah. So this was submitted. We were going to do it for the last episode, but it was Australian, and so we did not want to make Jem listen. Oh, I'll wait for you. We didn't want to make...
Corona steals, but music heals.
So the band that submitted this is called...
I don't understand what to take from this fucking album name.
No, I gotta find, because they sent me the link, but it's not exactly the right link, so I'm gonna find it, and then we'll be right back in business. Now I can't find
Corona might be stealing these opportunities, but music is a healer.
Okay. That works. This is New Nobility is the name of the band that sent me this.
New Nobility, yeah.
New Nobility, Galactic Love. So that's the one we actually want to listen to. And they probably have their own Bandcamp page, but this is some compilation record.
They were like, you have to listen to the song we put on this compilation record.
I'm assuming because it's new. It's probably the most recent thing they've recorded.
Oh, they have a Galactic Love, written and performed by Australia-based band New Nobility.
Okay, so that's info that we needed in order to make this happen. Let me see if I can find their like actual Bandcamp site while we wait for JD, because he wants to hear this again, or for the first time. All right, New Nobility. All right, so they have their own site. No, this is Brazil. I've been down this rabbit hole before. There's multiple New Nobilities. This is too hard for me. I need I need a producer. We need to start making money. So
I bet that's it. Go back.
Oh, did you find?
I think so. I think
those are all tracks. Track.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Album track. Artist, New Nobility, Australia. There we go. Okay. It's just all one word. I see. New Nobility uses their music as a platform to promote justice and world peace.
So now this says they are a high-tech pop band. What's a high-tech pop band?
I don't know.
What's a low-tech pop band?
Like acoustic instruments only? I mean, the guitar's pretty high tech there, buddy. They administer the right dose of poisonous rock to balance out the peace and activism. Okay. JD needs to hurry up, though, because he's really slowing down the show here. Good God. Here, I can show off some merch, because JD's seen this a million times. When you're listening to this, the last Bandcamp Friday will have passed. And hopefully you already bought some of this, but I did that wonderful thing that you do when you're in a band that you have to do called merch inventory. And in the process of doing merch inventory, what I found was a record that I thought was completely sold out. We had exactly 7 copies left. So going up on the Glory or Death Bandcamp page is the limited version, the last 7 copies of our second record, that comes with a bunch of killer art by the same guy who did the art for the logo. So you probably can't see because the window's really, really tiny. Actually, that's what I should do, is stop sharing for a minute.
Like, I can't see that.
There you go. So yeah, so it's the version of the
on.
record with the cool cover and the blue. I thought these were all gone, but you know, they were in the back of a box somewhere. This was really fancy, pretty splatter.
Nice.
And then you get a patch actually, and then you get art prints. We had an alternate cover art done, and Nick Fox, who did the background that you're looking at for the podcast and the logo.
Yep.
He did about 7 different art prints. He did one for each song, and they're cool as hell.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's awesome.
He did. This is the alternate cover.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, it's his style is crazy, and this is my favorite one. It's like weird surf.
Yep.
Weird boy in a bubble and some kind of galactic monster. I don't know what's wrong with Nick's head, but if you go to Mind Reaper Comics, COMIX, you can check out all of Nick's artwork, and I think you can even get some of the stuff that he's done for us that he's had prints made of, because his comic book is fucking killer. All right, well, Jay's just gonna have to miss out on listening to this song here, because I don't want to.
I don't have any. I think I have inventory for Hepatagua somewhere.
Oh, do you?
Downstairs in my basement, in a suitcase. You know, I think the last album that we did, that was just released digitally because at that point Nate had moved to Arizona, and so it was kind of hard to. It was like, well, you know, getting money together for physical anything was just extremely difficult. So It was like, we're just going to release this digitally. If at some point, you know, we're able to do it a different way, cool. If not, whatever. Like, we just wanted people we just wanted to put the music out there. We didn't really care how it came out.
Yeah. So here's an interesting question. When we had Josh Espinoza, who's in a band called Worship, but he's also he's a manager at Pinup Artist Management. He coined this concept that he said for his band is a semi-professional band, which means he knows they're not going to be touring 200 plus days a year, but when they do something, it's going to be executed at the level of you know, a major label professional band, and it's probably a situation that I would imagine a few of us are in at this point in our lives making music. Do you ever see yourself in a band touring all year, doing that kind of stuff? Somewhere in the future?
I don't think that's in my cards, but only because I would, let's put it this way, I wouldn't say no if it was if it made sense. I'm not against it. I just when it comes down to like music as a career, at this point I just kind of make what I make, and I like what I like, and if it goes somewhere cool, I'm not really trying to. I think I know too much about what it takes to make it, and when I hear that, when I think about that, it's very like it's a daunting task. I'm like, I don't know if I have it in me to do that kind of stuff, to like go out on the road. You know, I love touring. It's a lot of fun. But I was also lucky in the times that I did it. I was doing it with a very good friend. We got along really well and had a lot of fun. And so even the bad shows were fine. You know, it's like we just didn't care. We were having a good time. And my wife was on the road with us running merch and stuff, so I didn't have to miss her. But obviously now having a child, you know, I'm not going to fucking bring him out on the road.
Yeah. Although like some parts of it would be kind of ideal. And I know there are kids in the world who kind of grew up on a tour bus, but you have to be at a certain level. There has to be a certain amount of.
If we were making a lot of money, that would be different. Yeah. I mean, you know, like Pennywise's the people who are in Pennywise, like they can probably bring their kids on the road because they're probably making a shit ton of money. Same with like Metallica. They could bring their kids on the
They
road
do
if they
whatever they
wanted
want.
to, because they're making couple $1 million a night or whatever the hell it is,
Do you do? This is a thing that I do. Speaking of Metallica, anytime I go to a show, I always try and estimate the crowd, ticket sales, merch sales, and like figure out what the total nut is for like a night of Ghost.
How much did these guys walk away?
At a 3,000 cap venue? What was the total? Every time we go to a show, it's a game I play.
Oh, 100%.
I try not to do that to myself only because that is absolutely work that I have to do every day.
Yeah.
So if I don't have to think about it, I'm like, whatever. There's a shit ton of people here, man.
I just like to do it to try and understand the scale of what's going on. Like my older daughter and my wife went with some friends to see Taylor Swift at the 49er Stadium at Levi Stadium. She played 2 nights in a row, sold out, 50,000 people a night with probably an average ticket price of like $175.
Wow. That's a lot of money, dude. I mean, I saw Iron Maiden, their last pass in 2019. And they played at what I call Great Woods. I don't know what the fuck it's called now, but it's Great Woods to me. And it's a 20,000 seater. And it was pretty close to sold out, if not sold out. Like I got to go to that show for free. Luckily, I didn't have to pay, but yeah, I just looking at all that, I'm like, wow, that's a lot. This is a lot of money that these people are pulling down. Like, damn.
Well, that's the kind of clout you have to tell Spotify to fuck off, I think. You're like, I'm in the power position here, as it turns out, so I don't really need you, so maybe we can negotiate something that works better for me and other people. It's
kind of crazy. I don't know where
you're
Metallica
talking about Taylor,
plays
not Iron Maiden, right?
Yes. Yeah. Taylor did.
I don't know where
did that.
Metallica plays when they come here anymore. I don't think the last time. I'm trying to remember the last time I saw them. I think the last time I actually went to a show of theirs was probably in the late 90s, I think. And so they played at Great Woods.
Yeah.
And it was sold out. And so, yeah, like but they've grown considerably since then. So
yeah. The only thing they do around here is shit up the field when they play the national anthem before the first pitch at the opening night of the Giants games or whatever. Oh my God, it's embarrassing.
I don't think I've ever seen Metallica live.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Oh.
I haven't.
I've seen them a few times.
I mean, I think probably because the years that I would have wanted to see them live were pre me going to concerts.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, here we had the Day on the Green shows, and like even if you didn't get to a small venue Metallica show, which I was a little bit too young to go and see them in the bars, you at least got to go to like a crazy all day Day on the Green show at the Coliseum I think they were at the Oakland Coliseum. Those were fun as hell.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds awesome.
So I was just gonna say, was it And Justice or the Black Album where they made that jump from 1,500, 2,000 to like 30,000?
I think that happened after And Justice. After
you think so?
one, yeah. But then after the Black Album, that's when you can fill the like 50 to 100,000 seat venues around the world.
Exactly, headline every major festival.
Every festival on earth.
I can't imagine. I mean, you think like those kinds of shows, like Metallica's definitely pulling down a large chunk of cash on those plays.
Yeah. But
also the expenses just for the venue alone, and then they have a full management team, and they have, booking it. I don't even know if they have one booking agent. They might be one of those bands that has gotten so big that they actually have a couple.
Yeah.
Which doesn't happen that often. It happens a lot in the hip hop world, which blows my mind. I'm like, I would be so pissed if I was like booking Jay-Z and somebody else got him on a tour. I'd be so mad. I'd be like, really? I've been working with you for so long, and this other guy jumps in and gets my like.
Yeah, completely.
Fuck off.
Completely.
That's messed up. All right. It's minor detour. Now it's time to get back to Galactic Love by...
Galactic Love?
Yeah. This is the Australia deal that we talked about. The gems that
Is it Galactic Love or Galactic
Love by
Galactic Love.
Nobility.
By New Nobility.
All right.
This is
good.
going to be terrible. This is going to be terrible. I know it's going to be terrible. It's going to be so fucking bad.
We know too much. We found the New Nobility.
Oh, you did?
Actual Bandcamp page.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sorry.
You did want to know what high-tech pop is.
All I want to know is how they found our podcast.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's amazing.
I hope they raised a shit ton of money.
I hope they raised a shit ton of money.
The unfortunate reality, I know, and Aaron probably knows this too, is that if there are no pictures under here, then no one has paid for it.
No one. Oh.
Yeah.
I do know that because I have a bunch of things from bands that I've been in that have no pictures.
no people's faces.
So I know what that pain is.
I think you even get a picture under there if you send out free promotional codes.
Oh, man.
So, like, yeah. Okay.
Well, when did this, has this come out yet? Maybe it hasn't been released yet.
Every song is out.
Oh.
All right, can we wait? Let's listen to "Sad
April
Birthday."
10th. So
Oh my God, sad
birthday.
I just want to hear what that.
Okay,
I want to hear what that with "Sad Birthdays."
I'm on board.
I'm immediately
Sounds like a sad
sorry that we
birthday.
did this.
Okay.
Wow.
So we got some experimental, ambient, noisy guitar stuff.
I like that.
I can't
better
deal.
than the
That
first one.
actually just made me laugh really hard. I can't deal with that. Like,
Okay, well then good. We get to listen to one more.
But hey, at least they're raising
my
money for a
God,
good
did
cause.
I have to know.
We
What
should
just
show the
think-
power of our network right now. Everybody go buy one song, and let's raise some money.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Aaron?
nothing.
We killed
productive.
him. We killed him. But I need to know. I need to know about this
That's
artist.
a way. No,
Bear
no,
cake?
No.
Bear cake.
What JD said was a way better message than I had to put out in the world.
All right, bear cake. Here
I
we
was
go.
not gonna say anything nice. It was like, wow, they put this to tape, and we're like, yeah, let's put it out there.
I know you always got something to say, and I know.
That's my favorite.
Kind of
of
like bear cake.
I don't hate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Good job, bear cake.
Yeah.
Thanks for not sending us music.
Oh, all right. Well, that's enough sadness. But if
I
you
do
like
think
any of
about that sometimes, like bands that hit me up for shows at the Middle East and stuff, and I'm like, this one, oh man, this guy today, I wanted to kill him. He sent me an email, and it was just like, I have an indie rock band. It said, the email was like just from some dude. It wasn't like a band name. It was just like some guy. And he said, I have
John
an
Carter 435.
Yeah, it was like, I have an alternative indie rock band that wants to play your venue. And then he said, we think the basement is a good place for us. They're talking about the downstairs venue, which is a 550 cap room. So I said,
is it that big?
Yeah, downstairs is 550. So upstairs is 185. Sonia is 330, and then the downstairs is 550. So I'm able to operate really well in that world.
Yeah.
You know?
Is the 130 where that Iwata show was? Is that upstairs?
So 185, 330, and then 550. The Iwata show that we did, I think, was in the upstairs room.
Okay, yeah.
It didn't was sold out or close to it.
Yeah, it didn't feel like 500, that's for sure.
No. Yeah, they might be in so the last show that I did for them, they were in a 300 cap room. But anyway, so this guy hit me up and he's like, we want the downstairs room. He said, we want the downstairs room. And he sent me like their Instagram, or he sent me like an Instagram thing. I was like, what the hell are you doing? It was like, and I just remember I wrote back to him, it was like, do you have any music I can listen to? What's the name of the band?
Alternative rock band.
It took 2 days to get that information out of him. And
that was
I swear to God, I was ready to kill him because this morning was the last of our communications where he said, do you have a phone number I can hit you up at? I do all of my work on the phone. I don't really like talking on email. And I was like, nope, nobody. You're going to talk on email. I don't care that you don't like it.
You do not get my phone number.
Yeah, we're going to stay asynchronous until we know each other better.
Yeah, I was like, you're not getting my phone number. No way. So I said, can you just tell me who this band is? So finally he sends me a Spotify link, and then he just starts emailing me as if he's texting me. So he was emailing one line, and this happened as you would get texts. It was like an email with one line, and then like 30 seconds, another email with one line. It was like, oh my God, I'm going to fucking kill this guy. So when I finally listened to the band that he was talking about, I was like, wow, you need to go somewhere else. I was like, not only, I said, have you ever played shows in Boston before? No, we've never played a show in Boston. I was like, okay, what the fuck makes you think that you should be in a 500 cap room?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Like, I don't know. I don't understand how some people I don't know. Like, there really is a clueless gap of like folks that just have no idea how anything works.
Big dreams.
Well, and like that can be fine. Like you going, what's an offer? But like admit it, say it up front. Hey man, sorry, I'm really new at this.
I don't do
like
this.
It's not your job to teach me, but hey, could you tell me what is it that I should be submitting to you in order for you to?
And I would be happy to teach people too. I have no problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah, I think we're the same.
It's like a very easy to get along with. I have no problem helping you along. For whatever reason, that guy just hit me at a point where it just like pissed me off. Because I was like, "Can you tell me the name of the band, dude? Like, where are you coming? What planet are you on?" Like,
yeah. For reference, if you've never done this before and you submitted an email like that to 10 bookers in 10 cities, I think you'd be lucky to get 2 replies.
Oh yeah.
I replied.
Saying, Yeah, you're one of the two.
Yeah,
Most of them
you're one
go
of the
like,
two.
yeah, sorry, that goes in the trash.
Yeah.
No link, no.
So
I don't have time for this.
Here it is for everybody that's in a band that's listening. What is it? Like, what catches your attention? What do they send?
Dude, so simple. I love that this question got asked. So simple. Keep it to 2 sentences. I cannot tell you how many times people send me like a fucking paragraph. I'm like, I don't have time to read that. I'm basically doing this like, you know, people listening to the podcast can't see, but I'm essentially like typing here and going, glancing over, like, what is that? Oh, yeah. Okay. You know, but I'm way too busy to like read a whole paragraph of stuff. So send 2 sentences. The best thing is like, hey, we're looking for these dates. Here's our link. That's it. Here's a Facebook link. Here's a Bandcamp link. That's it. That's all you really need to do. Anything more than that is just like, what the hell, you know, why? Don't.
And one thing for a promoter that I'm starting to find useful, and you can get this from listening, but it even saves you some. Think about it this way: you're trying to save Aaron some time. There's likely a show,
Yes.
if you email him, that he would like to book you on. You just need the most efficient route to get from where you are onto that show, and that is by removing obstacles from the people along the way. I've become a big fan of the for fans of. So give me one line that says, "Hey, these are the kind of bands that we would fit in with, or that we sound like," because then that's a piece of data that we catalog when we're trying to put shows together, so that we can match up or cross genres or whatever. But it just makes my life easier if I can figure out, if you like this, then you'll like us.
I mean, for fans of,
just FFO
is great. And but I tell people that all the time. Like, all you have to do is just quickly tell me who, like, we are blah from blah. We are looking for this date in your city. Here's some, you know, if you have a video, awesome.
Live video.
Drop the video, because then it's a lot easier for me to like. That's like a video is probably the best way to get the attention of somebody.
Yeah, if you have,
because I'm going to look at that from a couple of different angles. I'm going to go, okay, I can see the visual thing, so these guys know what they're doing in terms of, like, they have some production to them, so they kind of understand that world. But also I can see how many people have looked at this.
Yeah.
You know, they can see the view number. But then also throw your Facebook in there. You know, if you have a Spotify, throw that link in there. But just put those links at the bottom and just one or 2 lines tops for what you're looking for. You know, nothing more than that.
For sure. And
if it's just gonna go, I'm just gonna look at it and be like, oh, that's work.
Yeah.
Also, if you can, you know, if you've played in Boston before, you know, where'd you play? How many people came?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I mean, you don't even have to start with that, because I'll get to it.
You'll get there.
You know what I mean? Like, the first email that you send out, really simple. The date that you need. Like, one of the most annoying things to me is when somebody says, "What dates do you have available?" And I'm just like, "What dates do?" A lot. What do you want? You know?
Well, and understand the difference between people who are talent buyers for a single location and for promoters that are booking multiple locations, because the question is more or less relevant depending on, like, are you the guy at the Catalyst and there's only one stage and 7 nights a week, or are you booking at 20 venues all across, you know, the greater Boston area, or, you know, whatever. So
that's a great point too, because I mean, I think I'm talking about it more from the band reference. If you're just doing a DIY tour and hitting me up, like, that's the way to do it. Agents do all sorts of different things. Some agents will send you one sheet full of stuff that I'm probably not going to read. But again, like, the most important part of all of this is the date.
The dates. The dates. Come on. I know it's elemental, but it happens.
Tell me when you want to play.
I have had, there are a couple of promoters that are from here that will ask, they do a slew of different shows. And so it's not something that's familiar to my world. I never, as Grayskull, hit up Great Scott or Once or the Middle East and said, send me all of your weekend holds. I've never done that because I only did it when I actually had a show to produce. But there are promoters around here that will ask you for, give me holds for every Thursday, Friday, Saturday for the month of October, November, December. It's super annoying, just because it takes a really long time. But if there are people that I know are gonna promote like great shows any one of those nights, I will go out of my way to like,
do that.
give them those holds, you know?
Yeah, and that's good. The reason that the bookers do that is because they're trying to, it's a complex puzzle routing a tour, and there are always like 50 different ways that you could do it. And what locks in one way over the other tends to be how far ahead of the game you are, how far out are you booking? So do you get availability for the primary nights and locations? And then just like random chance, sometimes you'll go 9 months out, 12 months out to a place that must be open, and they're like, sorry, we already have a hold for a whole week. That whole week is gone, and you're like, huh? Okay, well.
Yeah, and every place is different too. I mean, in Boston, we're so used to getting up to 9-10 holds deep at a room on any particular date that it's not. If you as an agent hit me up and I go, oh, it's 8th hold on this, like that might not freak you out because we're just a popular market.
Yeah.
But if something like that happens in like Kansas City and it's nothing to say about those particular markets, but it's just, it's not the same. So.
Or Minot, North Dakota.
Yeah, it'll be different. It would be like, oh, there's 8 holds on this day. Oh, we're definitely not going to get this date. We need to look somewhere else.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
All right, we have more music.
We do?
Do you have time? You good for a few more minutes? Or okay. So this one I really want to do just because I love the name.
Because of the name.
Yeah. So this next band we're going to listen to is called Bumfuzzle. Spelled all one word, spelled exactly the way it sounds.
Is this either going to be like some crazy psychedelic, or it's going to be
the Three Stooges apparently?
Oh, I thought that was the band.
Oh, wow.
I was looking at the little picture first, and see, like, this looks so doomy.
Yeah.
Like looks super doomy.
It's called Desperation. So are we going to find a new genre here, which would be...
This is definitely a band that does not... Look at the other stuff on their discography. Like, they have some weird, like, anime... What? Like, anime porn.
What?
Oh, what are you doing?
Interesting.
Well, what I'm getting here is doom that doesn't take itself seriously, which I think would be a whole new genre.
That would be a whole new genre. Sort of.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I don't know, though, but what's Old Man Gloom?
Well, that's true. Santos already...
Oh, there's more sludge than doom, maybe.
Whatever.
Noise. I don't know. Because that is a band that does not take themselves seriously. But their music sure is.
All right. So here's Desperation by Bumfuzzle.
I was just waiting for you to turn the volume down.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not nice. I've just heard so much stuff that when I hear things like that, it just makes me mad. Like, why?
This is an unusual episode because we haven't had any. Like, usually there's at least one barn burner.
It blows us away.
And I mean, maybe it's because I went Bumfuzzle. I want to hear that.
Okay. I want to hear what a Bumfuzzle sounds like.
If you scroll down, right? If you scroll down, see this band called Dirge?
Yes.
That band and Skeleton too. Those are two very sick bands.
Yes. Ahab, Gate Creeper.
And these are who this is comparing them to.
If you like.
I don't know that I would compare them to those bands.
No, I don't think I would at all.
No.
Dirge is sick though. They're from India.
Oh wow. Yeah, so this is like two guys, a bass player or a guitar player and a drummer with a revolving cast of singers and bass players. So that guy's not their singer. They're like an experimental two-piece, and then people hop on and do various other things.
So Sean Nippelberg is not their singer normally?
I think he is not there. And they've just been producing singles like crazy.
Kind of seems like they're just doing something fun.
I think so.
Kind of a fun project.
My Foot in Your Ass from August of 2019, and the cover photo is an X-ray of a foot in someone's ass.
That's amazing.
Okay, I like that. See, now this is a different
singer.
Different singer.
Not Nippelberg.
No, not Nippelberg. Well, yeah, keep doing your thing, Bumfuzzle. This is the beauty of Bandcamp, is that you can do this shit all day and put it out, and people can listen to it. And if they like it, fucking great.
Exactly.
What does this song sound? I want to know what this song sounds like.
Let's listen to my
You
Foot in
just
Your
want
Ass.
to keep looking at that picture, I think, but that's okay.
It's really fun.
And I just want to say, when my time comes, I want to be buried face down, so that anyone who doesn't like me can kiss my ass.
You get one coming in, but this is time for you to eat. Just take care of your own thing. I won't ever change. I'm about to give a fuck. Give a fuck 'cause I'm the fuck.
Yeah, all right.
Huh.
So
See,
these guys,
now they should just do that. They should
Yeah,
just do
right?
that.
That was a lot better than that.
more of that.
But I'm by the number of albums or singles or whatever is listed here, I have a feeling they just kind of experiment,
Yeah, no, and that's
jump
fun.
in and out of genre.
I think that's fun.
Oh, completely. This is very fun, Bumfuzzle.
It's like I did this shit when I was a young musician, but we just couldn't record.
You just couldn't put it on the internet.
Record it and put it on the internet. Otherwise, I probably would have.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, it's a good point.
All right, so we got. Let's see. Now, maybe I was on a little bit of a title kick. This is Drug Beard.
Is that a gnome?
There's a
Is that the roaming gnome?
This is the roaming gnome, the Travelocity gnome.
I do like too that the artwork is the cassette fold.
Yes,
it's the cassette pullout.
All right, here we got good. We have good hang gliding with hawks.
Hell yeah.
Hessian gynecology.
Ooh. Necropolis now.
All right. Well, we got support here.
Wow.
This is good.
This is gonna be another tongue in cheek funny.
I don't know, but they want us to listen to Fuckdozer.
Ooh, that sounds good. Let's
Oh,
listen to
dude,
Fuckdozer.
600. So you can buy this for $6.66.
Whoa.
Yeah, or you can buy
Or
the digital
$4
420.
Oh yeah.
and 20.
I don't get the references, but I assume they're referring to something specific. All right, Fuckdozer by Drug Beard.
Is it a lap still?
Some kind of slide. It's probably just slide.
Just a slide.
All right, get in the Fuckdozer, guys. Hurry up. You think they're Bon Jovi?
We're going
my god.
Oh, it'll change at 1 minute.
It'll change at 1 minute.
Yeah. The 1 minute intro.
Nice.
Those are like a barbershop quartet.
That could also be like a heroin reference. Like that's kind of
Yeah,
True.
that's-
That totally could be.
You push it on in and then
Pull it on out, and then you shoot it all in or something.
See, you started a good game because now I'm scrolling down every time. If you like Drugbeard, you might also like
sleep.
Probably.
like, you know what? I probably will like that band.
Sleep.
And Wind Hand.
I mean, it's good. I mean, it's good.
I didn't think it was horrible.
I think I get what they're doing with those vocals, but they're too fucking clean considering how how fuzzy the rest of the
Needed some more
sound
effects
is. So
on
it
those
just
vocals.
sounded like it was sitting right on top of the.
But you know what?
A little more reverb, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can't I like those vocals so much better than because I was waiting to potentially get a hey, just saying it around here. And he's like, oh God, no!
I think it's coming again. Return of the Jarl.
Oh God! But I like those vocals much.
That was better, but
Yeah.
it did sound a little bit like a barbershop quartet singing
yeah.
the word "fuckdozer," which has its own charms. Oh man, it's funny. I've been obsessed with Cobalt. Have you listened to Cobalt?
Oh yeah.
To this record, and the first song is called "Hunt the Buffalo," and is like if you listen, it's like spiritually similar to what we just listened to, but listen to the difference in the impact and the turn.
Yeah.
I'm a cowboy. You're on a steel horse I ride. And I'm wanted. Because you can make me wait like this, you gotta pay it off. Is it right at 1 minute?
They're really making us wait. I don't remember waiting this long the first time.
Yeah, kind of. Anyway, so just make it more like that.
Yeah.
That would be my suggestion. Well, if you want to capture me as a listener, which they may not necessarily want to do.
I gotta say, I've definitely grown very weary of the long intro.
The long intro.
Oh God.
I don't think I can deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I know. It's like get down to business.
like, can you do this? And I bet they could have gotten that point across in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too.
That one though was especially the beginning of the Drugbeard one was just cause it was the same thing. There were no changes.
All right, so let's listen to something really good. So the last thing we're going to listen to is the Bandcamp pick.
At least we hope it's going to be really good.
Well, it's supposed to be.
You guys already business the merch table?
Oh yeah, why don't you merch table it while I find this and get it set up? I showed off my dumb record, but that's fine.
You did?
Yeah. Yeah, we were vamping. We were killing time. You've seen our record.
right.
You've seen our record before. You don't need to see this
I
again.
have? What is it? Oh, your record.
Yeah, I found
literally you meant your record.
Yeah, I found the last 7 copies.
Gotcha. Nice.
So.
It's like I just made a record
Collector's
while we were
items.
sitting here.
While we were
Holy
sitting
shit.
here, we just made a record.
You were getting really good at that DAW.
Yeah.
No, I just have this. I finally got. This is probably like the 3rd printing of May Our Chambers Be Full, which is the Thou and Emma Ruth Rundle.
Ah.
That one's actually yours.
Oh, this one's
But I
mine?
think you ordered that too.
I
didn't
ordered.
you?
I ordered this one a long time ago.
Oh, you already
That
have it?
record is
Yeah, I already have it.
Oh,
that
is it the
record's so
purple
good.
one?
No, it's not the purple
There
one.
you
Yeah,
go.
this
Now
is-
you have a purple one.
This is a really killer record.
That record is so good. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
that's been on regular rotation at my house this year.
It's a beaut, Clark.
It's a beaut, Clark.
It's a beaut, Clark.
All right, so we're gonna listen to this, and it's some cool stuff. It's called Arc Mountain by Dos Monos and RXM Reality.
Whoa.
2 proudly undefinable labels, Deathbomb Arc and Hausu Mountain, are true kindred spirits, despite the fact that they merge from different cities, music scenes, and decades. So it's like an underground rap label, and then an old kind of like punk and noise label, putting out this like combo record with a bunch of different artists.
Oh,
and
is that a Minecraft cover?
it's some kind of it's some kind of video gamey Minecrafty bullshit. Looks a little
I
second.
see.
Looks maybe a little Second Life.
Yeah,
Here are
maybe.
these bad skins. But all right, let's listen to this
All right.
this music.
Yo. House. Yeah. My scream, sky tree, your sky sand, how she burns. Radio just knock a bit hit, your bit arm to shot. Kick, push out the boon to shot, bring the stand, go and Dama Ochir, Miss Damari, Hiro got the house to chill the babble. Saga, hamper, car, only. Beat your cream, you're the character with me. I cannot dance anymore. Call, couldn't get a white, hold to the sun, wait, friend. Call your heart, come on, morning, not that how much more, how much killing my
So each track is just an artist from each label sort of working together to create some kind of new thing. That's like a hip hop trio from Tokyo, and then a beats from somebody named
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what language that was.
RXM Reality.
I thought that was fucking cool.
Yeah.
That was
I
awesome.
love like that dirty bass music like that with just those grimy beats and those. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I mean, like one of these labels is where Death Grips comes from.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So it just Bandcamp does this pretty cool curation, and they put out articles every day, and there's usually some good weird shit that I never would have found or listened to otherwise. So I was
Oh,
just
I'm on it like every day.
every day.
I'm on
So
it like every day.
had you listened to this already?
I
This
haven't, no.
This was like one of today's main articles, and it's for me, it's like the best way to find music that's not already coming to me regularly. All this heavy shit to like explore other types of music. So, well, that was really cool.
I like that.
One of the things I was just talking to somebody today, a new potential client, and one of the things Heavy Talent's been doing over the last maybe couple of years is branching out from just being metal people, like metal a metal roster. Like we're starting to pick up a lot of post-punk and you know, gothy type music. Some of it's even could even be labeled like, you know, dance or dream pop or whatever. Like, because we listen to all different kinds of music, so there's no reason why we can't book these things. You know, some of it we're finding that it's like, oh, we have all the wrong promoters.
Yeah.
You know, so but it's fine because we know the people to talk to. So they would hit me up in the me of some other place in some other city, and I would say, oh, I like this kind of music, but I'm probably not the right guy to do this show because my audience is different, but here's the person you should talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because I know all the promoters around Boston. I know, you know, who's doing whatever. I don't tackle everything. I'm not putting on hip hop shows and stuff because it's just not it's not the same audience. So.
Yeah, but there is an interesting opportunity, and I think Psycho is a good example of this, to sort of define a broader audience that makes sense, because I'll listen to Emma Ruth Rundle without Thou, which is a very different, you know, she could play at Coachella if, you know, with the right management and promotion. And then I'll also listen to her with Thou on the same day and a bunch of stuff in between. And there's no reason why you couldn't at least have an artist base as diverse as, say, the Sargent House catalog, because they dip into indie and they, you know, it's like what they like, so they dip into lots of different areas, but somehow it kind of works together in a weird way, and they can build these mixed bills with artists that you wouldn't think on the surface make sense, like you know, if Sargent House put on a Mutoid Man and then Helmsley and then had like an acoustic opening act, I would totally go. I would totally go see that, because I don't want 3 hours of Mutoid Man. I might want 3 hours of Helmsley. There's actually a good chance that I could listen to.
Never get tired of seeing them live.
To 3 hours of that.
It depends. There's sometimes. You know, I'll see that in a tour package, like it'll basically be 3 of the same band. And I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, no.
Yes. All right. I'll be there.
All right.
You know? I'll make sure everybody gets paid at the end of the night. I'll make sure the shit happens the way it's supposed to. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, so the most diverse package that I ever or have worked with in recent years was I got to look up who, like, the entire bill, but it was pretty crazy. It was like Skeleton Witch. I'm just looking it up right now. Skeleton Witch and Soft Kill. Was the direct support, and I'm trying to remember like who. There were 2 other openers. I just can't remember who the fuck they were.
When I was doing shows in Salt Lake, the guy that I did them with, he was the main guy, and he basically, like, he had these 3 tours that were coming through town at the same time. He was like, I'll do one show. Because there was only one venue available. So he put, and I don't know if this will make sense to anybody other than me and maybe some listeners, but 7 Seconds, Shudder to Think, and Integrity. All on the same show. So I mean,
that's
you got
rad.
Like it's fucking rad, but like at Salt Lake at the time, that was not eclectic and cool and rad. So it was like all the straight edge hardcore kids showed up for Integrity, you know, all the kind of mod and emo kids showed up to see Shudder to Think, and then all the old punks, you know, showed up to see 7 Seconds, and it was like 3 different shows. It was just it was crazy.
People that wanted to fight each other. It was
a lot of people that wanted to fight each other.
Portrayal of Guilt was the band that opened. So it was Skeleton Witch, Soft Kill, and Portrayal of Guilt. And I remember when the agent hit me up, and he was like, "We're putting together kind of a diverse bill." And what do you think of this? You know, it was like Skeleton Witch, and then we're thinking about direct support being Soft Kill, and I was like, oh, I would really like that. I could see some people liking that, or, you know, hopefully lots of people liking that.
Yeah.
But they had a decent showing at Boston, and I think that was one of the best shows that they had in a little while.
Nice.
As far as the draw, you know, there was like, I think there was definitely one heckler in the crowd. You know, when Soft Kill was playing, they were like, "Play some fucking metal. What are you doing?" You know. And
drug guy
Tobias definitely handled it really well. He was like, "Yes, we are super not metal. Thank you to that guy." You know, and but they were great. I
Thanks
loved
for
that
pointing
show.
it out.
Yeah, there was a great one that I always remember at the Parkside in San Francisco that was Chemist, right? So you got
Right.
Epic, Twin Lead, Doom, guitar, then Jay Jail, who's like a Delta, electrified Delta blues,
So good.
and then Oathbreaker.
Yeah.
And it was like,
Whoa.
it made no sense at all, but it was a fucking great night of music.
Sometimes it works. I mean, I did one of those shows with Yob and Voivod.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Oh yeah.
that show actually didn't really work that well in Boston. Yob did very well the time before when they came out. I think it sold out, you know, downstairs, 500 plus people. And but the time that they came around with Voivod, it wasn't the same. It was like less people, and we found out that the people who like Voivod don't necessarily like Yob, and so the ticket price was kind of wrong because they weren't going to pay this higher ticket price because they're just like, I don't care about that. You know, I'll come see them the next time they play. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not paying $30 or whatever it was.
Oh, come on, people. Just pay $30, you fucking assholes.
They really should.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, what that show, like, if you advertise that show, and I don't know what order, did Yob headline or did Voivod?
Yob headlined.
Yob
Yeah.
headline. You just have a drug bar, and you just, like, you have weed for the Yob part, and then you put, like, a bunch of Coke or whatever out for the Voivod part, and everybody can, like, snap out of the haze or you know, flip it around,
I
whatever
mean,
whatever
Amin
works
Ra
best.
was the opener. Amin Ra
really?
was the opener. It was amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
amazing.
sounds great to me, but
Yeah.
I love Voivod and I
Exactly.
love Yob. So
Exactly.
I don't know if Voivod
I
to
should
me-
probably run.
Oh yeah, you
but-
gotta go. All right, man.
I do.
Well, we kept you for a long time. Go do your dad thing.
Can you
Yeah,
quickly
it's
tell
great
us who
to
your
talk to you
all-time
guys.
favorite hometown band is?
Yeah, favorite Boston band of your whole life.
Oh, of my whole life?
Your
Yeah,
whole
like-
life.
Like the younger the better.
Probably Boston.
Boston.
Nice.
Boston from Boston. That is a perfect answer.
Pretty great band. you
Yeah,
know?
absolutely.
Nice.
All right, Aaron. It was killer to talk to you.
Yeah, it's been great.
Looking forward to see you on the off chance that somehow we make it out to Vegas for Psycho. We'll definitely hang out.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Hit me up.
Yep, I will.
Hit me up.
All right.
Good to
Yeah.
talk to you guys.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
You too, man.
All right.
Whoop. I just pieced.
All right.
I've never pieced.
You've never pieced?
I just totally pieced somebody out. And I never do that.
Peace out. Yo,
Peace out, bro.
Wow, that was an interesting lineup of music.
Wasn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be like that sometimes.
It's going to be like that
Took
sometimes.
35 episodes. That's impressive.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've had one or two in there
Yeah.
prior to this that were interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was, yeah. You know what? But hey, that's the whole point of the show.
Yep.
You don't know what you're going to get. And
I'm not
I
going to
think
do
a
it.
couple of those were, I think they weren't serious. I know at least one of them wasn't serious.
Our show is like a
know,
box of
But,
chocolates.
yeah.
Couldn't stop myself.
Life is like a box of chocolates.
You never know what you're going to
You
get.
never know what you're going to get.
And I think that everyone quotes that wrong. I'm not going to look it up, but
I
I'm
don't know
pretty
what
sure
it
it's
is.
like totally different from that.
What about Jenny?
Jenny?
Did you quote that
Janae?
right? Quote that wrong?
Yeah, something like that.
Jenny.
Yeah, back in the times when
Jeff.
you wanted to depict a wicked woman, you would make sure she got AIDS in your movie and died
Yeah.
because she's a sinner. But hey, whatever.
sleeps around, man.
Yeah. Ugh. All right. What do we want to say?
I don't know. What do we want to say?
We want to say subscribe, like.
Do it. Like,
tell
go
your
subscribe
friends.
to shit.
Submit your music.
Yeah, submit your music, please. blindsub@gmail.com.
Blindsub.
Tell all your friends.
gmail.com.
Tell their friends' bands. Tell their little brothers' bands.
Well, yeah, we need more
Send
kid
us music.
I want more kid bands.
We've only
had a
Sounds
few.
creepy, but
If you know a rad ass band made up mostly
you know
of
what we
teenagers.
should do?
What?
Well, no, that could be shitty. I was gonna say we should just send like an email to all of the rock camp,
School of Rock
places. Have them submit their final projects to us. We could be kind.
Yeah, we would be. I would be kind.
Yeah.
I would be. I would be nothing but kind. It drives me crazy. You ever watch MasterChef Junior?
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's a real simple formula for that show. Don't yell at the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Also, don't eliminate the kids. Just let them all stay on the whole time.
Yeah.
And then pick a winner based on their cumulative performance.
Cumulative, yeah.
It's real easy.
It's like school.
It's like it's almost like if they were going to do that show, but in England. They still eliminate people from those reality shows.
But nobody wins a prize. They get a plaque.
Yeah.
They get a plaque and a thing of flowers. That's what I love. I love about that.
It always cracks me up where it's like last time I even paid attention to Survivor, they're on like season 60 or whatever of Survivor. You know what the prize is?
Is it no longer $1 million?
No, it's still $1 million.
Oh, it is?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Oh my God.
Like 30 years ago, shouldn't the prize have gone up by now?
Yeah, inflation.
I'm pretty sure the show makes more money.
Prize-winning inflation. Yeah, I don't know. The show might not still be making as much money as it once was.
Makes enough to increase the prize because in the grand scheme of the production cost of that show, the $1 million is peanuts.
Yeah,
it's nothing.
It's true. This is true.
All right. Well,
all right.
I think we're all out of
done?
words, so we can just go ahead and say goodbye.
Goodbye.
That was another episode of
Blind.
Oh, that's too much blood.
Submyshynz.
Who's here?
Bradley.
Bradley's here. It's too much blood. I don't like it.
What is the name for the phobia of blood? I don't remember.
Let me hit my head against the microphone.
Is it hepatophobia?
It's something, the Latin word for blood.
Yeah.
Hepaphobia, whatever.
Hepa? I don't know. Whatever. Bradley, the blood-phobic vampire.
The blood-phobic vampire. We'll have to show you guys Bradley someday.
Yeah, one day we'll show you Bradley.
Too much blood.
Oh.
Rivers of blood everywhere.
There's blood everywhere.
All right, what are we?
We are... Thanks for joining us for another week of Blynd Submyshynz. See episode description for links to all artists discussed in this episode, and visit their sites to support them directly by buying music and merch. Share links to the podcast or YouTube videos with your friends, especially if they're in bands. Bands, if you want us to listen to your music on a future episode, please submit one song to blindsub@gmail.com. That is blindsub, BLYNDSUB @gmail.com. Bandcamp links preferred, but not required. Find us on social media at Blynd Submyshynz. Full video episodes are available on our YouTube. Remember, we go in blind, so you don't have to. Blynd Submyshynz.